Okay, so welcome everyone. So today we're gonna focus on recovery and do some Yin Yoga. So we're gonna be holding the postures for longer, relaxing and softening and all that good stuff. Uh, as I put in the chat, Yin Yoga to relax and restore today. So if possible, um, you don't need fancy yoga blocks or anything like that, but any sort of cushion or extra blankets, pillows will be really helpful today. Um, or just improvising. I know you're all creative people. So we're actually going to start in half Shavasana on our backs. And we're going to have the feet planted on the mat. And we're going to drop our knees close together. And maybe some of you already do this, but it might also be supportive to have some music playing in the background um, if that's something you enjoy. Something to explore perhaps another time. No need to get music now. And you can have the palms flat on the mat, hands palms towards the sky, or placing the palms on the chest and the belly. Focusing on the breath coming in and the breath coming out. And setting an intention for today's practice. Maybe that intention is to relax. Maybe it is to restore, or perhaps it's something else. Now I'd like for us to shift our hips a bit to one side. So, for example, the left, bringing the knees and the legs together, or bringing one foot over the other and dropping to towards one side. And you can already use maybe one of the pillows, have the knees resting on that, or you can just allow them to free fall. And the hands also you can stretch out or keep them on the chest and belly. And if you like, looking to or towards the other side. As best we can, softening the eyes and the face, the jaw and the tongue. Breathing in, letting be, and breathing out, letting go. practicing patience and kindness, as we might quickly notice it's quite difficult to be still as we're constantly doing and moving and problem solving throughout the day. So being patient and kind if the mind is very active and all over the place. With the support of the hands, bringing the legs back up, lifting the hips and moving them just a bit over to the right side now or the other side. And again, bringing the legs together and allowing the legs to drop to the other side. Perhaps taking the opportunity to breath, deepen the breath, soften it, and it might be supportive to imagine or direct the breath into the sensations you're feeling. Breathing in the oxygen, the freshness into the sensations, and breathing out the byproducts, the toxins, the things we don't need anymore. With the support of the hand, bringing the legs back up, bringing the hips parallel to the mat or to the center, hugging the knees closer to the chest, and grabbing the back of the legs or maybe the bottom of the feet as we take some time to practice child's pose, or excuse me, happy baby. And if it's supportive, maybe rocking or swaying a little bit here. And the shoulders might be a bit engaged here as we're holding on, exploring the possibility of softening the shoulders, using as little effort and energy to maintain this position. Breathing into the lower back, the legs, and bringing the hands down, placing the hands underneath the legs. So grabbing the hamstrings and beginning to gently rock forwards and backwards, and rocking forward, making our way gently and softly onto our knees and hands. And we'll reach the hands out in front of us, bending forward, bringing the head or the chest to the mat. You can rest on a pillow if you'd like. And more or less, you'd like the hips above the knees, stretching the shoulders, the chest. And staying a bit in this posture as I go and mute one of our friends. Perhaps breathing in and just lengthening a bit. Breathing out, softening, relaxing. Bringing the hands closer together, moving onto the mat with the belly and the chest, placing the hands on the mat and then the head on the hands, resting in crocodile. As best we can, relaxing the feet, the legs, pelvis and hips, the belly, the back, the shoulders, the neck, the head. Noticing how the body moves as we breathe in and as we breathe out. Pressing ourselves gently up. We're going to move into a sleeping swan position. So we're going to bring one of the legs forward. And here, recommendation to put the pillow or the block underneath the buttocks. And you can have a nice big bend in the legs, or bring the foot more perpendicular to the mat, engaging the toes to protect the lower back. And as best we can, we want the hips more or less in line with each other. That's why it's nice to have something to put under that hip. And since this is a sleeping swan, we want to make our way forward, maybe with the elbows on the mat, maybe stacking a lot of pillows here. These stretches for the hips and the glutes are really important, particularly for us in the corporate world where we spend so much time sitting. And we'll slowly start making our way back up and really taking your time to switch to the other side. The setup is as important as coming out of the posture, as being in the posture. We tend to be very goal orientated, so we focus a lot on the destination. I gotta enter the posture. Exploring also the journey itself, the transitioning, the in betweening. We have a tendency to focus more on breathing once we're in the posture. Exploring if we could also focus on breathing as we move from one to the other. And just because you've decided on a certain posture doesn't mean you can't move or adjust. We're not trying to force ourselves into stillness. It can be very skillful to adjust, to get more comfortable. Slowly making our way out of this one, coming into a seated position, bringing the feet close together to one another, coming into a butterfly, adjusting the butt cheeks, breathing in, lengthening, and breathing out, bending forward. Softening the neck, the head, breathing into the lower back, Making our way back up, placing the hands behind us as we straighten out the legs. And if you'd like, in our final resting pose, to place the block or the blankets, the bolster underneath the knees. If you don't have anything under the knees, you can bring the feet closer together and the knees drop in into half shavasana. And the reason we want the knees up a bit so the lower back is less engaged. Hands can be on the sides or on the belly and the chest. Taking these last 2 or 3 minutes to rest and recover. To breathe. To simply be. Perhaps expressing a little bit of gratitude that you took this time to invest in the body, to slow things down, to relax and recover. As always, you're more than welcome to stay longer if you'd like. This does mark the end of our 30-minute practice.